Hey, what's going on, everyone? Todd Castledine here, Strike King Loose Pro. Wanted to share with y'all just a tip that probably started when I was pretty young. I got used to always changing my hooks out, my treble hooks out. And the reason I started doing it, man, to be honest with you, when I was pretty young, I'd have baits forever. And man, they always used to become rusty and stuff like that. And that was really the only reason I did it. But as I've gotten older, man, I've really seen how much sharp hooks really help. So I usually, like the hooks that come on a lot of these baits, they're fine. But even if you use them for after a couple of hours throughout the day, they'll still start to dull. They rub against the bait, you hit rocks. And so I always like to change them out. Sometimes I keep them on for the tournament, but if not, you know, I'll always check them. I check them. I'm pretty religious about that. I check them throughout the day, because even if you catch one, a lot of times what happens is if you use a net and you hook one, a lot of times you'll bend those hooks, and what'll happen is you'll net a fish, and the fish shakes in the net, and your hook has part of the net. That's actually what bends it. It's usually not the fish bending them. So I always pay attention to that, and I never want to rebend the hook back. To me, I feel it causes a lot of weakness in the hook. So that's kind of what I do. I've got one nail that seems to be pretty easy to do them. So I mean, I can literally do probably both of them in less than a minute. Most of the baits have pretty easy split rings. You get into the 8XDs and 10XDs, they get pretty hard. I mean, there's one of them just like that. And what I use is, I use Owner. Owner's got a Z-wire hook out, man, and these things are incredibly sharp. I mean, they're just, I mean, you can see how that one just gets me instantly. And it doesn't matter what I do. I mean, if I just touch it, it just instantly grabs it. So that's kind of what I want. You know, a lot of times those fish really like to slap at it. And you get those days where you get a lot of bites, man. These things, you know, it might not have it in its mouth, but at least I get a hook in it. And you know, at that point in time, who knows what happens? You know, you might be able to barely get one in. So, but that's my tip. Like I said, I try to always change my hooks out. And like I said, sometimes multiple times a day, depending on what I'm doing. And I think that'll get, if it gets me one more fish in the boat, then I'll take it. So remember, always check them. Go get Owners. Owners are really good, and that Z-wire hook is I like it. And like I said, I mean, this is my 6XD, so obviously I'm throwing it on a lose reel. The lose reel that I like to throw cranking. I know it's kind of always been talked about, that 5-to-1. I'm not a big 5-to-1 guy. I like the 6-4-to-1 and stuff like that, because man, I really want to dictate my speed, and I just don't think I can get enough speed out of a 5-to-1. So 90% of the time I throw a 6-4-to-1, or even sometimes I even throw a 7-to-1 if they're really wanting to hit it and I'm really wanting to go fast. It might wear you out. I'm kind of used to it, so it doesn't really bother me, but it you know, when they want it fast, that's kind of what I do. So got my lose reel, got my 6XD, got my new hooks. Do that in tournaments, or if you're just out there fun fishing, you should be able to land a couple more fish in the boat.